Hi everyone, this is Tobi. Welcome once again to the Nexus YouTube channel. And I do puzzle rush, or rather not puzzle rush, run, or win, or in some at least two rapid games. But if I go to just playing, I want to do some puzzles just to refresh my memory, and just to see how I apply some as well. So I think this first puzzle, the I'm having is that this is hanging, and also same check as well with this, and probably the king can move here. That is check the rook, and he might probably have here himself. Then maybe I just queen to checkmate him. So that's what I'm probably going to do. So white to move, take. That's check.
Great stuff.
Oh, that's everything. Okay, let's move on to the next puzzle then.
Win this game with a checkmate.
So I think we are white again, and I think this is one of those endgame stuff where back rank endgames where you already see a clear path of attack, but you also need to be careful because the queen is also in your back rank, and we have the rook also aiming for the back rank as well. So the issue is that if we are not careful, this could be mate because the queen can come here and check the king, and the king cannot move, and then he has to move here, and then bam, checkmate. So let's see what we have in store. I think the major thing is to be able to check the king, maybe remove this queen, but let's see what how it goes basically. So I'm thinking here we check, then we go here, to check the king, and then we use this to take the rook, which is checkmate.
Correct. Well played.
Okay, next puzzle then.
Calculate and win material.
Okay, so for now we are doing white. Wondering why all of these things are white though. But this is the move that I'm thinking of currently. I think just firstly moving to here, check, and then there are like a lot of things that we could do quickly. I think the first is that, or rather that black could do here. The first is that they could use this rook to block the path of the queen. Basically, first of all, defending it, right? Because the idea is that if they take us with this pawn, or the idea would be that if we do something, we end up going out of this rook. So I'm thinking about that. There's also knight captures this pawn, and then if pawn captures, we take the rook. So that is a way to win material, as they said. So let's use this check, and we have this, and then this.
You're doing great.
Okay, the next one. Hopefully before the amount of puzzles that I can do expires, or before chess.com restricts the puzzles, because I'm not currently on a paid plan, just using like normal chess.com, which means a lot of restricted stuff. But I think chess.com is
Find the game ending idea.
applications to use, especially when it comes to like really explaining the analysis that they do for you. On lichess, you have the ability to analyze properly, but there are a lot of times where you may not necessarily understand what you're analyzing, because at the end of the day, like they don't tell you all those like implications that, oh, you made a blunder and all of that, like chess.com does. But at least you are able to analyze your games properly compared to on chess.com, where it's only when you pay that you're able to do that. So now we have black, and there are a lot of things here, right? Currently, it's very difficult for us to attack the white king, uh, especially when we are like there are not that much opportunities to attack the black king. So I'm thinking that we are supposed to play a prophylactic move, which is basically just a move to set up the end game, but I'm not sure which move is going to be. I think for now, the things that we could probably do are either capture the rook or either capture the I don't know. I think it's capture the rook, but we can't capture the rook because bishop takes. So that is not good. And there is though, yeah, I think there's this simple move which is here. I'm sorry, which is basically we just move our queen here. Now he can't move here because of this point. He has to go back. So let's see what happens after that. And now I think we would have the normal checkmate. We could do this. I don't think this is the right move because he can just take this guy and escape. And I think we'll probably need to checkmate him first here, or rather check him rather from here. And this knight is under, like, sorry, this king is on check, and he can't move here, he can't move here, he can't move here. Yeah, I think that is the best move.
Very good. You can play checkmate soon. Do you see how?
Okay, we are black. Oh, yeah, I think I see how. So there is. I think the first thing is this guy. Oh no, that is dumb. That is dumb. Ugh. Now this is tricky, right? There are not a lot of things that black can do here. Initially, I was thinking of moving this knight here, but then I just realized that, bro, the rook can't quickly. I think there are two rooks that are aiming towards that. Um, but there is also, yeah, that's the issue. I think the issue is initially I was thinking of sacrificing the knight, basically take it here, rook takes, then we have rook here, that's just check. But the problem is that he doesn't need to take with this rook, he could take with this one, and then you just have two things protecting this guy at the end of the day, which is crazy weird. Maybe we could do this, check, and then, don't know, maybe this, yeah.
Wow, you're on fire.
Yeah, I've reached my daily limit, so let's start playing like actual games. I'll try and play one or two and see how it goes from there. So I'm trying to play a lot of 30 minutes. And I think one interesting weird thing that I found out is that 30 minutes is considered rapid on, well, chess.com, but when you get to lichess, I think it's 25 minutes, and anything above 25 minutes is classical. So I'm wondering why that like kind of concept, like why is there that kind of like different concepts in both like chess.com or lichess. But I usually just like to play 30 minutes, also 15 plus 10, but mostly 30 minutes because Well, the games don't usually take up to 30 minutes at the end of the day. So let's start. Okay, let's move this guy. I want to try the bed's opening, but I think I've forgotten the distance. I think it's here, 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 here. Let's try this guy first though. This is just basic London setup. Move the rook and move the bishop here to just cover for any issues. And then move the knight here. And just pre-move because that's the opening line for the setup. So I might consider going from here to here, or just moving the bishop here and castling before I start like doing any major development at the end of the day. Okay, so I think I've already pre-moved that, and I think it just remained the last pre-move. Okay, so the idea is that I think I want to hook this guy. I just think it's a good idea to restrict the movement of the knight because here he is, what's the word? At that point, he is restricted or pinned to the king, probably only protected by this guy. And, well, it allows me to quickly castle my knight or my bishop. But maybe I'll retract on that first. Let's just see what move he would do. Okay, I'm thinking he's probably going to do this to like initiate a pawn push. Let's just pin this guy first and see what he does. He attacks my king, I protect it, and I'm also protecting that pawn with both the knight and the pawn here, and most likely would look forward to pushing here to just kick this bishop away. Yeah, he moved back. And so what I'm thinking of doing, first of all castle, then I push and most likely restrict his movement here. So he pushed back. And I think the idea here is that I'm just going to take the knight to just first of all remove the knight and to damage his pawn structure. So let's see how that goes. And then after he takes my bishop, I also push the pawn here to just kick away this bishop. Okay, so that is it. Also imagine things like, well, here this guy is pinned, so he probably would have to defend that, and maybe activating my knight and just connecting my rooks so they are able to synergize more. Yeah, so he moved the queen to protect this guy. Wondering what to do. Let me move my knight here. I think there are a lot of interesting spaces to put this knight. Could push this, but I don't know. I'm thinking of a trade. But let's see. I want to chase away this guy, and I want to see what he would do. I want to chase away his queen, and I want to see what he would do. There are a lot of things that he could do here, but they are also limited as well because his queen is under attack. So this guy is the major weakness, and he's trying to protect this guy. But now, there's another attacker, and I think even though this guy is protected, even though his queen is protected, though. Okay, so now we have two ways, right? He left this guy hanging. Using the knight would be not that good, but using the queen though would be interesting because now the king is on check. He can't protect both of them at once. He has to either protect with the queen here, which is just I will just take that, or he uses the bishop, which is I think the best move, and he leaves the king hanging. Or he could just move the king as well. Either ways, I think I still take that rook. So, oh, there's light. Let's see what Mr. Bido 066 does. Okay, and just like I predicted, he did take this route. And what we are going to do is just to take this rook. And if he does move to protect that rook, he's going to be losing because we can equally take that, right? I think the best move here is to take the, or rather protect the king with the queen. And if he does that, we'll be looking at other measures to basically just ensure that we are up material at the end of the day. Takes just take this pawn, and if he does take, I take. So that I'm not sure he would probably take that, but then the idea is not necessarily for him to the idea is not necessarily for him to take this pawn, but rather the idea is once he moves this rook, or rather once he moves this bishop, he's going to be not protecting something, and then that is the thing that I want to attack. Or I could just put in double attackers for this bishop. And so in the process that he does take, I take, but if in the process that he doesn't take, he would be probably forced to move that particular piece. Just because at the end of the day I have more attackers like aiming for the rook. I think he can this is something that he would probably have tried to do. But then I always have the move. Um, I could take, because I think I'm up material, so probably could take. And yeah, I'll just take. So let's see what he does now. I'll take. Oh no, wait. I think I still need the queen though. Ah, choices, choices, choices. So let's see what we can do here. There is here, but this is if I go here, I don't necessarily know what I'm aiming for. I could use some techniques here to just like ensure that or I take, he takes, I take, he takes. So I ended up taking, but I think I also like realized that when he takes here, I just need to take this rook, this bishop first. Then I can't take this guy, and I'm also aiming at this guy. So he's just losing a lot of materials at this point. But yeah, let's see how it goes then. takes that, and I take this, and he might even take this, you know. And the good thing about this move is that if he does take this guy is left defenseless. Oh, damn, I think I even missed this thing. But no, not necessarily though. Because if had moved, then most likely he would have probably done what they call it. He would have probably just taken this pawn. So I think I will go here first and just see if I can push this guy, because most likely he's going to take this nigger, sorry, this pawn anyways, and just check him there. Then we'd have to like swap or exchange pieces, and then I'll just be up like a knight, or rather I'll be up rook. It's kind of a weird move, but I think it works because the idea is if he takes this, then the king is unchecked. So he can't move this guy, and if he takes with this guy, then this guy is less is what's the word, weakened. I think the proper response would be to take with the knight, but then I take his pawn, his rook, and then he can take back with the knight, but I also take that as well, and I still have like a lot of pieces that I can use in the play. I can, I have a bishop as well. There's just a lot of things I could do from here on. But I plan to take it slow. Let's see here, just to block this guy, and then to see if I can just put some pressure on the king. Thinking here. So the idea is to restrict him from getting to this pawn and then promoting the pawn. And then if he tries to get this guy, I move this guy as well. So it's sort of a two front two front approach to ensure that I promote and his king can't necessarily do that much at the end of the day. Yeah. Then I promote to a queen, and I'm not sure if this is checkmate, but let's see. Um, Probably has to go up, and then I could do this. Then just cage him bit by bit because he probably have to move front. Then I move this guy here, jerk. Then he can't move here or here. He can't move here either. He has to go front. Then maybe, just maybe, move here. Then I move here. Then here, that's checkmate. So nice game, everyone. That is game one. Probably play one more game to just see how we did. Let's just see how we did by the engine, how the engine rated us for this game. Anyways, how many minutes is that? Though? That's 38 minutes. We did roughly spend 30 minutes still. Probably make the game a bit shorter. So maybe the next game that I'll do 15 minutes and just see how it goes. Oh, one great, 28 best, and 15 excellent. Let's see. Let's try and do a little bit of game review. A really nice proverb or word of wisdom. Winner of the game is the player who makes the next.
Nice eye. You found a tactic to grow your lead into a win.
Wow, 87.1. That is. I Yeah, I had at least one example. But this is the first game that I didn't have any mistakes at all or miss. That's crazy, though. Well, let's start the review, anyways.
Fighting for the center and opening up your pieces for development. I like it. Your opponent is getting another piece. Their knight comes into play, supporting the... This move opens the path for your bishop. This move clears the way to bring their bishop. You found a way to pin. Kingside castling becomes available. Your pawn move forces the checking bishop. They missed a better way to move a bishop to safety. Castling kingside is a great way to protect your king and develop.
It wasn't the best move, but I think it was a good move. The best move would have been to push this pawn here, blocking basically the rook. The bishop from moving here, and maybe just constricting him to these spaces. Anyways, let's see.
Castling kingside is a great way to protect your king. You are forcing your opponent to create weakened backward pawns. A clear recapture. You're kicking their bishop out of a useful square. A correct move to get their bishop. You develop a queen, which means you move it from its starting position. They've made a mistake and their pawn is now lost.
Really, what should have been the best move? Oh, to try and get my bishop. Well, that would have been reasonable. Okay, I think I see the concept here, which is basically if I take, then all they just need to do at this point is to move their king and then allow me to take this rook, but then trap me because I can't move here. And if I take, wait, yeah, I think maybe they could trap me somehow, but I'm not sure how. But they would have allowed me to take this guy and maybe trap. Let me see what the engine triples. So this. Oh, preventing me from even moving the queen. That's a nice one. And they just defend everything else. Why trying to attack my king? Create a weakness here. And then the queen comes out. Wow, that's crazy.
They've made a mistake and their pawn is now lost. Your best move was to win a tempo by threatening a queen.
Yeah, I didn't see this move initially. It was a bit after that.
This move gives you the opportunity to win their pawn. You gain time because your opponent must... You get a chance to win a rook through a fork. White will be winning a rook with that fork. They stop the check by... With the right follow-up, they block the check. They stop the check by... With the right follow-up, they block the check from your queen. A good choice to move. Your opponent's bishop is trapped. Their piece is now in a more active square. This adds protection to your threatened pawn. Their piece is now in a more active square. This adds protection to your threatened pawn. A straightforward recapture. You captured a vulnerable bishop. That's playable. You captured a free pawn. A great way to control the open file with your rook. They played one of the best moves here. You had a better option, but this is a very good choice. They are right on target. The attackers... I like their choice. They move their king out of the check from your knight. Well done, and they played one of the best. I like their choice. Very good choice. A nice fork here. Finally, you recapture the piece. They played one of the best moves. Well done, and excellent. They move their king out of the check from your rook. Not the best move, but not bad. I like their choice. Decent move, but they had a better one. You captured a free pawn. Nice fork. They move their king out of the check from your rook. Your passed pawn is one step. This pawn push. You captured that. They played one of the best moves here. Passed pawns must be... They didn't find the right idea.
It was just...
Your opponent has to watch that pass. They played the strongest move available.
Basically measure of just pushing points and creating a situation where he can't go for both. He has to lose one to get the other. And also protecting the pieces that I have in play already. And I was just able to...
Your move I like their choice. They made one of the top moves in this position. They played one of the best moves. Their move stopped you from being able to... That was the only move. You're still on the road to checkmate. That was the only move. You've wrapped up the game with a textbook ladder mate.
So I'm not sure if I would still have a bit of time to play games because already 45 minutes already. I'll probably play, let's say, much more shorter time intervals, like 15 minutes intervals in the next video. Stay tuned, guys. Have a good day.